Welcome back to the Fifth Guild Podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm co-host Scott.
And today we're going over chapters 31 through 35 of Labyrinth Arcanists. And before we get into today's episodes, we still always love to ask that you like, share, subscribe, and give us a rating, all of that fun stuff so that we know we're doing a good job. And then the link for the Earth Chronicles wiki is down below, along with the Capital Station Discord server. And we officially have a release date for Elder Arcanists of being September the 9th. So don't think we're going to be able to drag this out until September, but as soon as it is released, we will definitely be working on it. And with that, we'll get into today's episode.
Chapter 31, A Sin Against Nature. This point, Gray can sense threads from both worlds, which is pretty cool. So he's got his choice of magic to choose from. He does find a golden stag, and this is pretty important because it does allow him to heal Deimos to some extent. Once we're back at the Academy, Deimos does express his doubts that the Academy is really going to be able to teach Gray something that Deimos doesn't already know about the Hells. He's pretty much as great a teacher as there's going to be about it, but I think the other end of the spectrum is that Gray can then convey some of that information onto the rest of the Academy, and then hopefully they'll find some way to be able to help out. They do reach the Spire of the Gods, and there are pictures of god creatures in the building. Gray can kind of sense these faint threads of magic to the pictures, which is interesting, so they must have god creature magic associated with them. And Deimos does explain that the souls of god arcanists do reincarnate differently than the souls of kind of regular mortals or regular arcanists for that matter. Because they needed the Lotus Diamond Runestone to enter here, it does stop the other Death Lords from chasing them and gives them kind of a safe haven to hang out at. Gray and Deimos then have this back and forth where Deimos is debating actually grafting the god arcanist souls onto Hektor, and Gray says no, this is everything that you stand against is kind of disrespecting these creatures, so don't go down that route.
Really do appreciate that Gray had that moment of making sure that Deimos actually doesn't do this. With that, we get in chapter 32 back to class, and we have no non-Death Lords allowed in the Spire of the Gods. It's only allowed to have God Arcanists and Death Lords Club.
Pretty exclusive club there.
We do hear a banging though, and we went to investigate, and it is Everett, and he is in all sorts of transformed shapes. Honestly, it would probably give me the heebie-jeebies at this point, but it is what it is. Twain ends up sleep transforming and says that it's totally normal, and that just ask any other mimic, even though Gray was the reason why Twain ended up transforming in the middle of the night. We find out that Knovak also has joined in the Abyssal Sentinels, and that he is still acting super snobby, super superior, and he's doing his best to try to cover up the messed up Arcanist mark on his face. But I don't think there's anything that could possibly do that.
It goes down to his nose. He's not gonna wear a Gala mask around or anything. It's wear a big hat and hope for the best. Which he already kind of does, so it's pretty normal.
Right, well, it's essentially a mask at this point, because it's said to be over his eyes and down his nose.
Chapter 33 is Abyssal Dragon Magic. We are in class now, and it is the Harry Potter magic writing chalkboard. And Gray actually corrects the chalkboard, which is kind of fun on the aura, and that these elder creatures can actually use an aura. The class is going over trinkets that prevent instant death, and Knovak is again being all high and mighty that he doesn't need protection from the Hells anymore, and he storms off because he just kind of assumes that everyone's talking about him when nobody really is too interested in him at the moment. They are going to be creating their own trinket, and thankfully the Academy is going to be providing the star shards, so the class heads down to the artificer labs, and luckily for Gray, his honeysuckle's teaching. But
how's Helmith going to react to this? Him being married?
Oh, it's two married people. It's an affair at this point. It's a real affair at this point. They do, unfortunately for Gray and his affair honeysuckle, it's assisted by Exie's aunt. So we get some more of the craziness coming.
In chapter 34, the anemia aura is a fairly short and quick chapter in the perspective of Ninny, and that she sees a bunch of the children spirits that are floating along. Waste kind of explains to her, you really listen to what they're saying, you can tell they're children. However, we have the stag and the basilisk hot on her tail, and as they're going, they are getting themselves little snacks here and there, being, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. And Waste encourages her again that she needs to make sure that she creates her anemia aura. And so she uses his strengths as well, and she ends up making it. And we don't get told, like, if she made it correctly or if she didn't, but she made it. So there's that. So, like, Ninny went from, like, novice arcanist here to damn near a Grandmaster.
Moving into chapter 35, protection items. The class is making their items. We're back at the academy. Nazbit doesn't really want to go first. There's kind of this discussion on whose magic is going to be the best, and the class is really fighting with everybody saying, oh, my magic would be the best for the Abyssal Hells. Eventually, we get Soren coming up to create his artifact and try and kind of have a trinket that protects against the Abyssal Hells. So Gray, while this is going on, Gray does sneak over to Helmith and ask if she can release Deimos' soul. Deimos doesn't really want this to happen, which is pretty surprising. He kind of wants the connection there. But Helmith thinks that it probably is best that he gets it back. They are going to try and find Zahn and the Soulcatcher Arcanist. This is Gray's next step in trying to beat all of his fears. He feels like the Soulcatcher has been haunting him since before he came to the academy, so maybe this is what's preventing him from reaching true form. So Zahn did actually agree to help. He agreed to be charged with crimes as long as he's free to kind of work until Deimos is out. So Zahn is Team Academy right now, which is kind of a back to where we started, very strangely. Whoa. And we do finish off with Soren being able to successfully create his own trinket, which is a huge step.
Go Soren.
I know, this is just like accomplishment after accomplishment for the team.
I feel like they're becoming less and less untested. Like Ninny, she's tested. She's good.
Yeah, they've started to fight their fair share of battles between like Abyssal Krakens and Elder creatures, and especially the group that went to the Hells. Like they've faced some real tests at this point.
Woo. Finally getting some of their teeth cut, I guess, is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, their battle scars, the teeth cut.
But with that ends chapter 31 through 35 today. We'll pick up next week with the 36 through 40. I know at the time of recording, we are just a couple days away from the completion of the Kickstarter for the third bestiary. And we are, I think, 4,500 away from the comic book chapter.
We're close. We're very close at this point.
Something like that. I know the last stretch is always kind of like the nerve-wracking part, but I think Shamie said that's usually where a good chunk of it comes in, like very beginning and then very end. So fingers crossed that we get the first chapter of the Frith Chronicles in comic book form or graphic novel, however you want to call it. I don't mean to upset anybody by calling it a comic book. But with that, Scott, do you have anything else you'd like to add today?
2, 3 maybe podcasts left to the end of the book, so we are quickly approaching.
One more thing, I'm so sorry. if you have not voted for the Dragon Con, go vote for the Dragon Con. Every vote counts. But with that, we will catch you guys next week.